What's going on? Back. We gave you Foolish Finance Fridays. Hope you got a chance to watch that. I went over a lot of stuff, including scammed romances, including uh, salaries for Asians, Black, and Hispanics and whites for 2020, in particular, Black men. Um, what the top 1%, 5%, 10% make. Um, who do we discuss here at Women in Linux? We're not only talking about the other side of the bell curve. I'm not talking about 70,000 and really 100,000 and below, really 130 and below. I'm not talking about that. If, if you're not at the 100K mark yet, what skills do you need to get there? What's stopping you? How do you get them? Um, that needs to be a discussion. The next one, the other thing we talked about was being scammed. Being scammed. People taking money from companies, so forth and so on, balling out of control. Right? Shahid, we're here. What's going on? D, what's going on? You know, we have a lot of discussions. And we got a lot to talk about today as well, too. What's going on, Stacy? Right? Again, if you missed the Blackest Tech conference, you probably could catch the replay of the conference. Um, I think they have all the sessions recorded, so you can go back and catch that. Afrotech is coming up. KubeCon is coming up. Open Source Summit is coming up. There's so many conferences that are coming up. You need to figure out which one you want to be in, where you want to be. What do you want to see? Um, oh yeah, you gotta go back and watch the Friday show. I even pulled in some Kendra G on the Friday show. Don was there. Don was there. So again, don't I even talked about um stop standing on the front lines trying to increase minimum wage, which is $15 an hour, which comes out to 28,800 a year. And the national average for salaries is 70,000. So you're marching to get 28,000, right? And then on top of that, you're also missing out on time that you could spend, getting some skills. So, that's my thought process. The other piece out of all of this is understanding what is available to you out there in the market in terms of free training or networking or whatever the case may be. So, got to get a mind shift when we're talking about this. What's going on, Lawrence? How you doing? How you doing, Lawrence? Right. So, you know, um, tech isn't going anywhere, and neither are people who use it, and neither are people who gonna build companies around it. If you think for 1 minute that Silicon Valley or Denver or any other places are gonna stop building tech companies, okay, I'll wait. And if you think that those companies are gonna stop getting funding, I'll wait. Um, you know, thank you, thank you. I just want people to understand that like the words of the days of mixing words with people about what I consider as I was told being pretentious this week. As I was told, you know, $100,000, and most of these major cities is ate up. 200,000 is really kind of ate up too. Everybody's now trying to push to 250, and I did a show on that last night. How far does $250,000 get you in most of these cities? The city that came out number one with your 250,000 goes the furthest was Memphis. But now you got to get involved with Memphis with whatever social economic thing going on there as far as crime and whatever the case may be. right? 250,000 in most of these major cities is 82,000. And I could totally understand that. I could totally see that. I totally get that. When you sit up and you're talking about putting away off the rip 22.5 for your 401k, 3850 or 3875 or 3750 or whatever it is for your HSA, um putting away for your emergency fund. I mean, just off the rip right there, let's just say you put away 2,000 for your emergency fund. Off the rip right there, that's $26,000 right there. So you can't even afford to make $28,000 a year. Because you can't even save. You're not even saving. Tech Ties, what's going on, Miss Phoenix? We appreciate you. Thank you for coming by. Sadie, what's going on? How you doing? Casual economist, right? You can't even afford at 28,000 a year before taxes. You can't even afford to be putting away anything. Then on the next step up from that is after you got your emergency fund and all of that, you got taxes, and then you still got to pay your bills. Some of you all got, you know, um, some of y'all, yeah, I slept. Some of you all got student loans. Some of you got aging parents. Some of you have sickly kids. Some of your kids have activities. Some of you are generous and you're taking care of other people, not just in your family, but you're taking care of other people. So at the same token, like, why wouldn't you want to make as much money as you can with the skill set that you have and get paid the most? Why? I just I just I'm gonna never ever not understand if my skill sets can command for me to get paid 400, 500,000, a million. Why wouldn't I want to get paid that? Why wouldn't I? And why would I not want to get paid that, build up own my own portfolio, my own little rock, and then show others how to do it, or put people in places so they can thrive on their own. Like, I don't like I that's never gonna I'm never not gonna ask that question. Like, like, I think I think I saved this quote. I don't know. My phone. Where my phone at? I had to look through my phone. I should have pulled it out. I think I saved this quote. It said, if you want to help others, you're gonna have to be more than rich, right? In other words, you're gonna have to be so rich that when you help others, it doesn't even bother what you got going on. Because it's just nothing to you, because you're like, oh, I see you need this, or I know you need this. I could put you in this room, or I could send this to you. Don't worry about it, right? When you're looking at it from that perspective, like, again, not everybody want to help everybody, and I get that. But it don't. I just, for the life of me, will never understand why you want to get paid the least for the time and effort that you put in to gain the skills. You don't want to make as much money as you can. That would never make sense to me. That would never make. What you do it for then? What you go get the skills for if you don't want to get paid for the skills? What's the point? As my aunt would say, what's the point? What's the point? Right? Lawrence D. Coles, thank you. Yep. Please invite your Twitter friends, your Twitter homies on over. Yep. Yeah, it just, certain things don't make sense to me. Ain't gonna never make sense to me. It is what it is, right? So I encourage you all to get as many skills that are valuable, that put you in rooms and put yourself in rooms. Like, stop going to the same rooms all your friends going. If you got 20 of your friends going in the same room, you don't need to be in that room. Yeah, you need to go in a room where where ain't nobody else going. Go be in a different room. In fact, you and your 20 friends need to divide up, and each one of y'all need to go into 20 different rooms. Scribble, 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 take notes, come back and be like, what did you get out of that room? This is what I got. What you get out of that room? This is what I got. So next time we come, we need to infiltrate that room. Like, no. Or y'all all go to 20 different rooms. Ain't nothing popping off in this one. Let me go over here to the next one. Like, but y'all can't keep getting the same, going in the same place. You know what kind of get on my nerves, and you know everybody gonna be like, "Tam, you're a sellout." Yeah, I know it's coming, but this what I get tired of seeing. Every time I look up and I'm on social media looking around, we get in the rooms, and you know what I see? You know what I see every time? These are three things I see when we get in the rooms. Four. It's some music blasting. Somebody finna break out into a song and dance or step. Some people gonna be sitting around looking and eating. And ain't no and I don't know why this happens this way, like when we all get in the rooms. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a family reunion, or we so glad to see each other, or what have you. I don't know what it is, but when we get in the room, it's like the music gotta go. We gotta dance or step. It's gonna be somebody sitting around eating, and then like this just my pet peeve. It don't really be about tech. It be tech ish. Right? I don't know. That's just me. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, we about to do it. It's about to be this. We about to hit the electric slide. We about to hit the Cupid shuffle. We about to see some shoulders moving. We about to be some stepping. We about to have some DJing. We about to have some people laughing and dancing, and I get it. But when I'm in other rooms, that ain't what I'm seeing. When I'm in other rooms, ain't nobody stepping. I listen. I couldn't tell you outside of skulls, none of the white fraternities, none of the white sororities. I couldn't tell you nothing about them. I wouldn't even know they signed. The only one I know is the Triple K's. That's the only ones I know. I'm serious. They're the only ones I know. Skulls and Triple K's. They're the only ones I know. Sigma Cipher Fambu Haku. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Right. And it's cool. That's our thing. But what the problem I have is, what's the action after that? Are we executing on information? Are we executing on networking? Are we getting people the skills, right? Are we getting people to where they need to be? Right? Yeah, we can shimmy, we can do all of that. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yay. We can do all of that. Give them the mic so I can take it away. Right? We can bust a bus. We can do all of that. If you really want to party with me, shout out to 50 years of hip hop. I can go all day long. I can go all day long, right? We can go all day long. Can we get freaky tonight like Coco? Yeah, we go all day long. However, however, when I'm in the other rooms, no one breaks out into the song and dance. It's no song and dance breakout. It is, what do you do? Okay, I got somebody over here that can help you with that piece. Um, I can help you with this piece. You can help me with this piece. Let's do this. Let's get together. Oh yeah, we getting ready to go to lunch, or we getting ready to go get something to eat. Oh, I'm not hungry. Okay, well, we're not hungry. Let's sit down and collaborate and come up with a plan to do bop 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 bop. Oh, how you need somebody to help you with finding foreclosures? I got a guy. You need somebody to help you build out the AI side of your of your real estate portfolio, or the AI side. Okay, I got somebody that could do it. It is straight. It ain't nobody over there like the DJ ain't pumping. They're not doing that. It may be a couple of drinks, maybe. But they when we in the rooms, when we out and about, and I'm in these different rooms. Prime example. Prime example. Last night. This is a great example. Last night, of course, anywhere I go, I'm the only pepper in the salt. I'm the only pepper in the salt, and you know what? I don't care. Cause when I leave, when I come in this room, then nobody pay my bill walking in, and ain't nobody gonna pay my bills walking out. I'm the only salt. I'm the only pepper in the salt, and I'm okay with that. Let me be, let me be salty pepper. I'm okay. I'm the one pepper. I'm the one pepper flake. Congratulations, Miss Phoenix, for being a member for 14 months, 300K earner. We appreciate you. I'm the only pepper in the salt. You know what we in the room doing? There is the bison tomahawk table. There is the spread for your salads, some chicken, whatever foods that you want. And this is what I notice about a lot of the other spaces. We serve liquor. We serve liquor. Now you gonna get this peach peach wheat ale beer. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this special beer, right? It's always at one of the beer spots. Like we serve liquor, others serve beer. Let's just say it that way. And you get a variety of the beer. And if you get some liquor, you're gonna have to pay for it, right? Um, you may get a wine. You may get a infused wine or something like that, right? The next thing we get is next thing you got is um when in the other spaces it's do you want to do a little putt putt or the little sandbag toss, or you may get like some trash cans, and you may try to shoot from different areas with a basketball or something like that, or you may get a finger paint session, or you may get a um they the one that they did yesterday was, hey, come hang out with us, we're going tubing. I'm not going tubing. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But you could do that, right? It was free, all of it free. Then after all the food and stuff like that, they bring out four different popcorns. I got they had multiple candies. You get your own specialty beer glass. They'll engrave your name on it. You get your own specialty towel with your name on it. Somebody's there doing a towel with your name on it, and somebody is over here handing out a gift bag for people that came, right? No DJ. They did a movie on the lawn. Like afterwards, everyone can come out. We're gonna watch Sandlot, and we're gonna watch a movie and this, that, and another. Nah. When it come to us, Oh boy, we about to turn all the way up. we about to turn all the way up, right? We about to turn all the way up. We about to hit the DJ. We about to bring out the Hennessy. We about to bring out all the liquor. We about to we about to step. We about to tear it up. I'm on, and I'm on, and I'm on, and I'm on. And really, we don't be on. Let's just be clear. We don't be on. Let me tell you, we don't be on. We don't be on. Let me tell you what I mean by we don't be on. Right? When I say we don't be on, meaning like, and I talk about this for the past 3 weeks, this whole bell curve thing is in the middle for the US is 70,000. Now, when I did this report last night, for black men from 40 to 59, your maximum income earnings from 2019 to 2020 was, I think it was 47,000 from 30 to 40 or 40 to 49 or something like that. And then from 50 to 59, it was 48,000. So 48,000 is your maximum amount of money that you're going to make, that you made. Let me say that. And that's been consistent, really, from all the reports I've been seeing. That's really been consistent. 48,000 is the maximum. So when we over here pop, locking, and dropping it, you got to remember we're not even at the median. That's I guess that's what boggles my mind. We're not even at the median. So how do we get there? How do we get to the median? How do we get to where we're at the high income, higher earning potential? And for those that are new, that are just now getting here, that don't know me, I care nothing about the $100,000 mark. That shit is old. I don't care. I don't care nothing about it. I'm telling you, you're gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna leave some salty comments. Y'all gonna share this out. Y'all gonna quote me the quotes. Let me get you before you quote me the quotes. Let me help you out before you quote me the quotes. Tameika, only 8% of the people in the United States make $100,000. And if we break that down by skin color, by race, you will find out that only a certain small percentage of black people make that kind of money. Why would you be talking about $100,000? We really got to really humble ourselves. You need to humble yourself. You need to do blah, blah, blah for yourself. You need to do. Cry me a river, right? Cue up, please cue up my boy. Pull him up, cue him up. Cue him up, get him up. Cue up my boy. Cry me a river, right? Here's what I'm simply saying is this. If you feel like this is gonna really be really harsh, if you feel like that your skill sets and who you are and your potential earning and the network and everybody that you know and so forth can only max out at $100,000, click off. This ain't the show for you. This ain't the show for you. Because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to come on over here sending me emails crying about nothing. I don't want you to at me on another show because you're going to do a review of it. Don't at me. I'm not going to respond. I'm telling you. Because I don't care. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your feelings with you and your homies. I don't care about your mama feelings. I don't care about your kids' feelings. Click off. I'm telling you. I'm not going to respond. I'm just not. Because what you're saying repeatedly when I see these shows, What you saying is what you saying. I'm saying it like I want to. What you saying is I'm not even worth 70,000, much less 100,000. So if I'm not worth 70,000 and I know I'm not worth 100,000, you can't be worth that either. There's no way you worth that. And if that's what your attitude is, I'm not the person for you, right? We over here. We're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the it's the 10 crack commandments. What? Like we on something else. I'm not interested in none of that other stuff. I'm interested in how can we get our skills, maximize as much money as we can, invest what we need to invest, build out our portfolio, retire whenever we want to feel when we feel like it, move in the lanes that we want to move in, go see and do what we want to do. If you want the option one day to say, you know what, I want to buy that house with with the landing strip in the back and the plane and my own plane, I want you to have that option. If you don't, that's fine. If you want the house somewhere off the coast of Costa Rica that's got a maid quarters, you own a coffee farm, you over there with your boat, you got tours, you doing exotic tours, and you still working in tech, or you retired, I want you to have that option. We don't talk about life in options. We talk about life as, if I get there, then I would do this. I want you to have options. Your skill sets are going to allow you to have options. The networks you get in and the rooms that you get in are going to open up other options. You can't be in the same rooms doing the same things, talking about the same, oh, woe is me, I can't make it. Oh, woe is me, what happened here? Oh, woe is me, I got, oh, God, oh, ooh, ooh. You know, we can't keep doing it. We can't keep doing it. Right? And this is shout out to D. This is what she say all the time. Pick a struggle. What struggle are you picking? Pick a struggle. Esoteric career woman, you said, I know a man who applied for a job with a PhD requirement. He didn't have one applied, and got the job at 200,000. Like I don't even understand. Like, I don't even know why $100,000 is even like uh, a debate. It doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense to me. Um, Lawrence, you said, I swear I haven't been here in a few months, but I have to check in to get my head fixed. This is a doctor's office. Yeah, every day. I'm doing it every day. Mama do, how you do? Right? So I wanted to set the tone, set the record straight. I care nothing about 100,000. And I know some of you are like, Tameika, I haven't gotten there yet, or I'm still looking for X, Y, and Z. That's great. But once you get there, once you get in, don't let $100,000 be your only goal. Get there and move on. And this is my favorite line right here. This is my favorite. This is my other favorite one right here. You don't need that much money to live. Does Elon Musk need that much money to live? Huh? Does Warren Buffett need that much money to live? What about Munger? What about Gates? Do they need that much money to live? Huh? Louis Vuitton. Do they need that much money to live? Y'all don't say that. Y'all don't go over there and say that to them. Y'all don't say that to them. Y'all don't say they don't need that much money to live. You know how I know you don't say that? because you be lined up for the latest and greatest fashion that come out. You go and get the latest and greatest shoes. You go and get the latest and greatest belt. You go over there and get the latest and greatest whatever. You at the fashion shows. You like, oh, she coming out. She ain't got on no red bottoms. That's how I know. Y'all don't say that to them. But the minute, the minute somebody says, yo, I'm beyond 100,000, I ain't talking about 100,000. I'm over here talking about 2, 3, 4. You don't need that much money to live. That's what I hear that all the time. You don't know what I need. You don't know what I'm preparing for. You don't know what God planned for me. You ain't the boss of me. You don't know what my path, my trajectory is. Stop telling people that. Stop telling people what they don't need to live. You don't know what they need to live. That person could be very skilled and earn it. Stop telling people what they need to live. You don't know what they need to live. You don't know where they're going. You don't know what they had to do to fight to get there. Then you come back and you do a backhand comment like, well, you don't need that. Everybody who make 200 anyway is living paycheck to paycheck. You don't know what they're doing. You don't even know why they living paycheck to paycheck. They could be taking care of 4, 5, 6, 7 different people. They could be taking care of whole families. They could be taking care of their family, and somebody else is the reason why they living paycheck to paycheck. They could be putting things in place. They could be living paycheck to paycheck now, but they working on some skills to get them somewhere else. So that paycheck to paycheck may be now, but in another month or in another year, they may be 300,000-400,000. So that paycheck to paycheck might have paid off. You don't know what people got planned. You don't know their trajectory. You don't know their story. You don't know where they're going, and you don't know who they're helping. You don't. Had a client with 700-acre property, just won a minute. Exactly. You don't know. And when y'all get in rooms and people tell y'all that you don't need to make that kind of money, and this is my favorite one, they're not going to pay you that kind of money. That's when you be like, you know what? It's been a pleasure talking to you. And you walk away from them. You walk away from them because they are already telling you that they don't see the value in themselves, much less see the value in you. And ain't no way in the world y'all can be friends and collab and build a network together because they can't even see the value in themselves. They don't even see the skills in themselves. They don't even understand the value that they bring to the table, much less the value that you bring to the table. So stop talking to them, leave them alone, walk away. Get in other rooms. Get you some new friends. Get you some new associates. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So let's talk about it. Angela Yee. I want to give her a shout out. I guess I could put myself on the screen here. Angela Yee buys a building in Midtown Detroit to house 30 formerly incarcerated women. She bought a 30 unit in Midtown Detroit. This is coming from Afrotech. I want to give her a shout out for, and this was back in July, July the 10th. And I want to give her a shout out because we don't hear about us doing, not just buying units for us, but buying units to help other people, right? Buying units for us is cool, right? For ourselves, but buying units for others buying units to help others is something we don't see, right? Want to give her a shout out. Also want to give a shout out to this first ever athlete-owned media network, Players TV, inks a distribution deal with Amazon Prime. Excited, right? Right? Because I always have said this, and this is another thing I say all the time. This is what I want to build. I want to build our own. I want to build our own technology TV. Like I'm not talking about Black Enterprise and they got a little segment over there talking about tech. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about 24-hour streaming of nothing but tech. Now you turn on 24 hours, we're streaming nothing but what's happening in tech, right? Where we could talk about edge computing. We could talk about PIC controllers, where we could talk about we created an operating system, and we talked about creating libraries. We, like when I say libraries, I'm talking about libraries on the operating system. Or where we're sitting up and we're talking about creating our own what the technology is in the car. We created our own car, and this is technology we putting in. I want 24-hour streaming of nothing but tech. And guess what? I want people all shapes and sizes. I want people from all shapes and sizes. Everybody that look like it, we're not cloned all the same. We ain't all the same. I want all shapes and sizes. I want all hues. I want all different types of hair. I want it all. I want all of it. I want the ones that wear the purple hair. I want the ones that wear the green hair. I want the ones that wear their hair straight. I want the ones that wear their hair curly. I want the ones that are bald headed. I want the ones with the mohawk. I want them all. I want them all. Because we come in so many different shapes, sizes, colors, and hues. We're in so many different lanes. We're doing so many different things, but we don't have one place where we can go see all of that. We got to get together and go to a conference. Right? Green Bay Cheesehead. Nah, we got to get them too. We got to get them too. We got to get them too. 24 hours of nothing but streaming. Right? I ain't talking about on YouTube. I'm talking about our own. I'm talking about in our own data center. I'm talking about in our own. I'm talking about in our own data center. I'm talking about in our with our own servers. However that looks. Pick us. Whatever that looks like. There's open source servers. Slap a label on them. Our own storage devices. Our own OS. Our own whatever. I want that. I want to have our own studio. I want to have our own magazine we come out with, or newsletter that we come out with about the conference that's coming up that we're doing on in our own facility, right? And I want facilities in all the major cities where we all congregate, right? We can all rent that out. I want all of that. I want all of that. I had to look at VMware Explore CTO Advisor. Yeah, I got the studio. I got access to the studio. We need to own it though. I don't want to rent nothing from nobody. You walk in, that's our studio. You gonna film in the different sections. You go to the hotel that's down the street, that's ours. The bed and breakfast down the street, that's ours. The RV park down the street, that's ours. The hunting place down the street, that's ours. On all of it. I want it all. I want every last bit of it. Right? So shout out to them. Let's get into it. All right. Let's see what we're doing here with NVIDIA. Let's talk. So, NVIDIA stock can shoot to $800. $800. Anybody got NVIDIA stock? I got NVIDIA stock. Yeah. We can use NVIDIA GPUs. Sure can. Right? But NVIDIA stock can shoot up to $800, says one of Wall Street biggest bulls. Anybody in NVIDIA? Are y'all What y'all playing these days? Do you got NVIDIA? Are you in Apple? What are your stocks are y'all playing today? Put your ticker in the chat that what you're following. And if you're not following stocks, because I know some people don't like stocks, some people just like real estate. Put some REITs that you following out there. What you into these days? What y'all where y'all DCA and your way ins? Nothing wrong with that, CTO. Analysts remain overwhelmingly bullish on NVIDIA shares despite the near tripling of the stock so far this year, and their average price target implies about 20% upside from here. Let's see. They said he lifted the price target on NVIDIA stock to $800 late Wednesday, writing that he expects the company to deliver and beat and raise the report when it posts its earnings next week, even as NVIDIA appears unable to meet all the furious demands on AI hardware. Well, we're gonna get into AI today. We're gonna get into that. Mosman's prior price target was 600, already solidified him as one of the most bullish analysts covering NVIDIA and within FactSet's database, but the 800 target places him second behind Warren Lau of Alethea Capital, who has a target of 1,000. A target of 1,000. If you can't afford it, DCA your way in. If you're on Schwab or Fidelity slices, and I forget what they call it on Fidelity. I forget what it's called. But DCA your way in. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the drug companies. They ain't going nowhere. Broadcom is underpriced. Broadcom is underpriced. I got a friend of mine who got a contract with them. Nothing wrong with the currency. Say to you, how you liking Amazon? They ain't been performing the way I want them to perform. They ain't been performing. I ain't been seeing the results the way I want to. Anybody still in Tesla? Are y'all still in Tesla? Are y'all still buying Bitcoin? Are y'all still buying all the crypto? I got a little video about that. We're gonna talk about it. All right. This bond fund has had many advantages in the current market and pays high dividends. Anybody into bonds, CDs, muni bonds? Anybody into those? Anybody playing that? You got X, you in Twitter? I don't know. How that been performing? I think I got one share. I think I got one share. Anybody got any CDs? Have y'all been putting your money in the CDs? Crypto, I be on the fence with crypto. I follow all the crypto channels. I go to all the little crypto meetings. I've been to a bunch of crypto conferences. I go to crypto meetups virtually. I be on the fence with them. Yeah, we do. Right? The River Canyon Total Return Bond Fund is able to use strategies employed by hedge funds, but without any restrictions on timing or size withdrawals. Even if you love your bond fund, you have had to be patient because bonds market values decline as interest rates rise. It isn't fun to watch your share price go down. Then again, if the fund yields is high, you're being paid monthly, it is much easier to wait. The River Canyon Total Return Bond Fund has about 500 million in assets and a 5-star rating in Morningstar, a multi-sector bond category. The Canyon Partners is based in Dallas and they manage about 24 billion, mostly in hedge funds. And this is what I'll be talking about the other room. The other room, because we're gonna get into the other room here in a minute. I'm leading up to some stuff, right? Born was good a week ago. Who playing options? Lawrence, you be safe. Who playing options? Are y'all out here doing iron condors? Who playing options? During an interview, Sam Reed, one of the fund's portfolio managers, explained how it was able to make use of credit analysis and underwriting employed by the firm's hedge fund within the Ribbon Canyon Total Return Bond Fund without restrictions on timing of size redemptions that hedge funds typically employ. The I'm tired of saying that one. It returned quoted the SEC 30-day yield of 6.65% as of June 30th for its institutional shares, RCTIX, the net of the annual expenses that come to 0.66 of the fund's assessments under the management. But over the past 12 months, the monthly payouts have totaled 75.5 cents a share, which works out to a yield distribution of 7.53%. Based on Wednesday's closing price of $10 and the most recently monthly dividend paid on July 28th of 77 cents, which is an annualized, which if annualized would make the distribution about 7.71%. That's a good return. That's a good return. The fund shares are distributed through investment advisors, but they can also purchase them directly through brokerage platforms such as Charles Schwab, for example, for a fee of about $50. So check them out. All you gotta do is put them on a watch list. This is the River Canyon Total Bond Fund. I'm assuming their ticker is this RCTIX is what they stated, because they don't, or RCTIX is, I think it's what their ticker is. Go look them up. Go see how they've been moving over the years. All right. Next up, Instacart made IPO. They say Instacart is reportedly eyeing an IPO in September. Have they waited too late? Should Instacart have did their IPO in 2020? Is it too late now? I think they should have. I think they should have went a long time ago, when everything was high. Let's look. Maybe they went down in 2020. They lost some stuff in 2021. We'll see. Instacart plans to launch its long-awaited initial public offering in September. According to Bloomberg, Instacart could publicly file its IPO plans as soon as next week, adding the grocery delivery company is planning a traditional IPO after previously considering a direct listing. San Francisco-based Instacart has been one of the most highly anticipated IPOs for years. Last year, it confidentially filed for a public debut debt, but delayed the offering last October, reportedly citing poor market conditions. Early this year, Instacart hiked up its valuation by 18% to about $12 billion, according to the information that came after it slashed its valuation multiple times in 2022 from one-time valuation of $24 billion. While this year's IPO market hasn't reached levels of frothier pre-pandemic times, it's significantly better than the near frozen levels of 2022. So they're getting ready to IPO. What do you think? Let's see. No, Instacart is used by Target. Casual Cunning said too late. What's going on, Juan? All right. So when I talk about other rooms, this is another room I'm talking about, right? So I'm gonna take myself off the screen so you can see. All right. And let me blow this up a little bit more for you. All right. This is the Generational Wealth Conference that is going on in Dubai. It is happening, and it's by invitation only. And I know how to get an invitation, and I just may go and just spend 2 weeks in Dubai for my birthday and just go to this conference and party. However, November 7th through the 8th, they are doing creating bridges across nations. All right. Bridges across nations. So overview, and let me blow that up so you can read with me a little bit more. There we go. A little down because I can't see there. That should work. All right, the General Wealth Conference is an unprecedented global event franchise with our inaugural event premiere in Dubai. Become an authority to secure investment capital from the UAE, understand the tax mitigation benefits that have made the UAE a global powerhouse, connect with our purpose through our deepest manifestation. On this war tour, every city we visit will share another layer of globalized landscape to our audience of global executives and entrepreneurs. Experience the abundance only attainable through true relationship capital built on the foundation of trust, compassion, and shared vision for a better future. Generational wealth is an international corporate structure. Our events deliver transformative experiences, seamlessly weaving tier one entertainment and education. So here, November 7th through the and 8th in Dubai. I know that you all probably don't know these people, but I'm going to show you someone. Intentional Millionaire knows who this is. So you get a brunch, you get keynotes, you get a catered cuisine, you got panels, keynotes, celebrity performance, a mega yacht sunset cruise. Mega yacht sunset cruise. Um, Let me show you. Y'all know who this guy is right here? Tim, I know you know who that guy is. And I know you know the people surrounding him from the non bond. He's a billionaire. I don't know if you all know about the non bond. Uh, non-bond foundation right here. I don't know. I think they're worth. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. Under in this foundation worth 20 billion or something like that, right? The Non Bond Foundation. He's the founder, and they create different funds out of this non bond. So far, I've seen at least six different funds get created, each one worth anywhere from 10 million to 20 million on a fund. Just sharing with y'all what's going on. Estate planning is the first panel. Protecting your legacy. No estate, no date. Get your t-shirt in the shop. And if you go to womeninlinux.org and hit shop, you can get the t-shirt, no estate, no date. You can get it. You can get I got it out the trust instead of I got it out the mud. Stop saying I got it out the mud and say you got it out the trust. It doesn't make sense. We don't have to get it out the mud when we can create trust and put things in the trust and have beneficiaries to the trust. Say I got it out the trust. Right? Fireside track investment capital with UAE, real estate investment, a pathway to generational wealth. Wednesday's discussion about blockchain and cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence and its impact on financial ecosystem, giving back the future generational wealth mindset for wealth creation and preservation. You got wealth accumulation and you have wealth preservation. Power investments, identifying lucrative opportunities, investing in environmental responsibility. Here is the venue that they're going to be at. It's called The Space. You can see how the space looks right here. A worry-free parking area that accommodates 400 cars. Step into the Zen Garden, find solace, and indulge in gourmet barbecue. They got 4K screens lighting up the place. Elevate VIP experience, our elegant executive lounge, a haven for personalized luxury. Production partnerships, creative director, global presence, social impact, invited nonprofits here. Here, yep. Um, yep, yep. He did host in India. Yep, yep, yep. Morningstar and Guru Focus are good to check out. By the way, both get 7 day free trials. $2.5 billion fund. Got you. Sir Dr. James Dentley, the Baron of St. James, I guess Cappadocia, a versatile entrepreneur and speaker, is the founder of J3 TV, a platform for personal and business development, offering masterclasses and coachings with notable collaborations and philanthropic efforts. You see Dame Dee Wong, confirmed guest, VIP. Emmett Smith will be there speaking. They had to pay him. Meta World Peace will be speaking. Meta is in the room. Giovanni Francesca in the room. I'm looking to see who else is out there. All right. So don't say I didn't tell you. Next up, estate planning at any age. This came out from Charles Schwab. And I wanted to talk about this because I hear all the time that it's not worth it to get married. It's not worth it to share your life with someone. It's not worth it to do X, Y, and Z. Some of you all live in community property states and say you're not gonna get married, but then you don't realize you're in community property states, so they could get half anyway because you let them get some mail at the house and you let them live there too long. So little things like that, right? All right. So no matter what, you can do things to protect yourselves, whether you're married or not, where you want to build up generational wealth and so forth. I talked about this before with the Charitable Remainder Trust. I got to bring somebody in for Fidelity to talk about it because I got some questions on it as well too, right? No matter your age or financial situation, organizing your affairs and estate can be fruitful exercise at any point during your financial journey, but sooner than better, sooner than later, right? So here, one of the biggest estate planning mistakes you can make comes from a common misconception. Estate planning is just for the wealthy. It is not. It's true that in 2023, a filing is required for estates with combined gross assets and prior taxable gifts exceeding 12.9 million. That's the threshold that beckons the tax man. But even if you don't meet the estate tax threshold, failing to make an estate plan means that after your death, your money and other possessions could sit on the sidelines while fees and court costs eat away at your assets. Bottom line, everyone should take up some degree of estate planning. Hi, Tam from the Leader Turn Live Chat. You told me that what you do. This is my first time seeing you too. All right, cool. Thank you for coming. First, let's determine what we're talking about. Estate planning can mean putting together everything that from a will, healthcare directives, life insurance, naming guardians, figuring out who gets your cash. Another one, the beneficiaries, and then what you can leave, and also who you donate to. Like you may want to donate to another cause as well. That is also possible. You may want to donate to a charity. You may want someone to do something after your death. You may want someone to build something. You can do all these things, right? Even things as simple as selling your car or paying your credit cards can become a very long, expensive hassle for those that you leave behind. Here's another thing. Stop getting life insurance policies for $5,000 and not leaving enough money to pay your bills, bury you, and then have money left over for your people. Stop doing that. Why are you going and getting a policy for $5,000? You can't even buy a plot for 5,000. And if you do, you somewhere in the outskirts and ain't nobody gonna come see you. But you can't get cremated. Your first step in determining beneficiaries, including charities, for your insurance and your retirement accounts, just remember to track and, if necessary, update your beneficiaries. Some of y'all get married and on your 401ks, you still got your ex on your 401k, or you got your ex on your life insurance policy or whatever. Take them off. Take them off. Update your beneficiaries so they don't end up sending a fat insurance check or a hefty IRA payment to your ex-spouse. Or if the beneficiary has died, it goes to probate court. Your will gets reviewed by probate court, becomes public, and can be legally challenged by disgruntled relatives, and generally takes more time and money than you may have banked on before it gets where you intended. And that introduces a little irony. One of the first rules of estate planning, many estate planners recommend keeping as much as possible out of your estate. Give now. One way to give now is to make gifts of your assets while you're alive. For 2023, give up to 17,000 annually without incurring a gift tax. So you may want to give somebody a car. You could gift them a car that's not over 17,000. Right? If you and your spouse can team, if you and your spouse team up, that's 34,000. So one person can give one person give a gift, another person give a gift, like two separate, right? And rather than leaving $100,000 for a grandchild's education, you can make contributions to their 529 savings plan, which can lower your tax bill. In other words, you're out of your estate plan. Instead of uh, giving it directly, go to the 529 plan that's established. And you can establish the 529 plan too, right? Keep in mind that if the child's parents set up the plan, they qualify for tax treatment. Only the creators of the account, whether the grandparents or any other party, get the tax break. Note that each child can be the beneficiary of more than one account. You can front load up to 5 years of contributions, 85,000 to in 2023 per child per individual contributor, or 170,000 for couples filing jointly without the IRS gift tax rules. Please check your individual plan for more details. Trust. This is what I talk about all the time, putting your stuff into a trust, right? Trust is another tool that can potentially keep your assets out of probate and taxes. To get a tax break, though, you'll need to keep the assets in an irrevocable trust. That means you give up control, but not necessarily the benefits. And there's some tax benefits. And I'll pull up the charitable remainder trust as well, too, right? One consideration is qualified personal residence trust, where you put your home into a trust for whomever you designate. This lets you stay in your home if you pay rent. If you put the home in a trust for a family member and then pay that family member rent, you'll be passing an additional cash outside of your estate. You'll need to consult a tax or financial planner to determine if such a trust makes sense for your situation. Now, in this charitable remainder trust that I'm talking about, there's two different ways, and I'll pull that up. No estate, no date, right? Yet another chaotic tactic is life estate. You donate your house to a charity now, but continue to live in it for the rest of your life. After you die, the property goes to the charity, which can use it or sell it. This brings two benefits. It gives you a tax deduction while you're alive, and it keeps your property out of your estate, reducing your estate's taxable value, right? And I thought this was a very good article because a lot of you out here, men and women, are worried about who gonna get my stuff. Please give me back my stuff. Don't take my stuff. Protect your stuff. Use the laws that are written to help you protect your stuff. Why is this so hard? Why not learn this? It says, you said, I don't understand this part. I don't understand this part, Tim. Can you explain why it's saying to give gifts and keep the money out of the state? Because of the tax, probably more than likely on the tax on the estate. More than likely, the tax on that part. Tim says life policy should be 10 times your salary as a basis. However, there are several other factors to consider, such as your health and the premium on it, right? Such as your health and the premium on it. For the cause, another challenge lies in balancing your family's unknown future financial needs and your desire to benefit those charities near and dear to your heart. One approach is a charitable remainder trust, and this is what I was talking about, which is a tax exempt and irrevocable trust. The trust actually buys an insurance policy on you and your spouse, if you choose, equal to the size of your gift. Naming your family members as beneficiaries, the trust pays the insurance premiums and your family gets the income from the policy. Then, after the established period of payouts has passed, the remaining assets go to an assigned charity. Now, there's two different ways this happens, and I'll pull this up after I finish reading this article. Proper authorities. There are, of course, costs associated with setting up and maintenance of these plans, but if you end up preserving more of your estate in the long run, it could be well worth it. Start by visiting an experienced estate lawyer to create a will, a healthcare proxy, and other basics. Then move to an experienced financial planner, insurance expert, an estate or tax attorney. This team can show you how tax shelters, trusts, insurance can give you ideas and alternatives now. They'll help you ensure your concerns are covered while keeping your air taxes hassles to a minimum. More than just an asset giveaway, estate planning isn't about giving away your assets. It also can help you set goals concerning what you want financially, personally in your life. And beyond that, it can give you a chance to see your heirs or favorite charities benefit from some of your assets while enjoying your own retirement. I'll put this link in the chat. You can go reread this as well. Let me go to this link. I've shown this before, but we're going to talk about it. And it's from Fidelity. And I want to show you, and this is where I was talking about. I want to bring somebody in Fidelity to come in. All right. A charitable remainder trust is an irrevocable trust that generates a potential income stream for you as the donor to the CRT, which is Charitable Remainder Trust, or other beneficiaries, with the remainder of the donated assets going to your favorite charity, right? Charitable giving, because there's difference between tax deductions and tax credits. There's a difference between tax deductions and tax credits, right? Let me go. All right, where am I at? All right, this charitable giving strategy generates income, blah, blah, blah. I said that. Oh, here, charitable trust can offer flexibility and some control over your intended charitable beneficiaries as well as lifetime income, thereby helping with retirement and estate planning and tax management. How a charitable remainder trust works. A CRT is a split interest giving vehicle that allows you to make contributions to the trust and be eligible for partial tax deduction based on the CRT's assets that will pass to charitable beneficiaries. You can name yourself or someone else to receive potential income stream for a term of years, no more than 20. So I can get money from my trust. Like I said, I got it out the trust. Start wearing that t-shirt. Buy the t-shirt. I got it out the trust. Stop saying I got it out the mud. I got it out the trust, right? Or for the life of one or more non-charitable beneficiaries, and then name one or more charities to receive the remainder of the donated assets. What I don't know is, can that charity be a charity you created? Or can it be a family charity that gets created where you may not sit on the board and it be someone else and you donate to the charity of the family? For example, the charity of the family could be this particular charity that you create literally goes and buys plots of lands to bury people. So that charity, instead of waiting do a GoFundMe, you all have a trust set up to bury people. They may not have life insurance and so forth. Just different things I'm thinking about here, right? Just different things. What's going on, Natasha? There are two types of charitable remainder trust, CRTs. A charitable remainder annuity trust, CRAT, distribute a fixed annuity amount each year, and additional contributions are not allowed. So basically, you got a big lump sum that you already put in there, and then you can't make no more contributions. However, you have a CRUT, which is a charitable remainder unit trust, distributed a fixed percentage based on the balance of the trust assets, revalued annually, and additional contributions can be made. Additional contributions can be made. Contributions to CRTs and CRUTs are irrevocable transfer of cash or property, and both are required to distribute a portion of income or principal to either the donor or another beneficiary. At the end of the specified lifetime or term of the income interest, the remaining trust assets are distributed to one or more charitable reminder beneficiaries. So here's what it looks like. I'm gonna blow it up a little bit more for you there, so you can really see. You make a contribution to this CRT. You can get a stream of income coming out of this. You can see here. You can also get a partial tax deduction and a stream of income, and you can have several charities set up over here. This can last for 20 years. So say you hit 65, or say you want to do this at 55. And you can have this set up to pay you a stream of income. You can put stuff into it, brokerage account, land, and it doesn't have to be income producing land either, right? So here we're going to talk about it. And back out a little bit so I can see. Make a partially tax deductible donation. Donate cash, stocks, non-publicly traded assets such as real estate, private business interests, private company stock. Become eligible to take a partial deduction. The partial tax deduction is based on the type of trust, the term of the trust, the projected income payments, the IRS interest rates, and assume a certain rate of growth of the trust assets, right? You want it to grow, right? You want that to grow. You or your chosen beneficiaries receive an income stream based on how you set up the trust. And put a one in the chat if you're following along and you like what you hear. And don't forget to hit the like button. Based on how you set up your trust, you or your stated beneficiaries can receive income annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly. Per the IRS, the annual annuity must be at least 5%, but no more than 50% of the trust assets. After the specified time span or the death of the last income beneficiary, the remaining CRT assets are distributed to designated charitable beneficiaries. What that means is when the CRT terminates, the remaining CRT assets are distributed to the charitable beneficiary, which can be public charities or private foundations. You can set up a private foundation, right? Depending on how the CRT is established, the trustee may have power to change the CRT charitable beneficiary during the lifetime of the trust. Now, they're talking about this donor advised fund. I'm not a fan of the donor advised fund because I can't get an income stream out of it. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. But some people are, right? With the donor advised fund, you get the flexibility to to more easily adjust and recommend ultimate grants with the DAF. This strategy provides you the greater flexibility, a significantly lower cost than amending the charitable beneficiary or the charitable trust, which is in some circumstances may be prohibited. I'm not a fan of donor advised funds. Key benefits: preserve value of highly appreciated assets. For those that with significantly long-term appreciated assets, including non-income producing property, which could be land, a CRT allows you to contribute that property to the trust. And when the trust sells, it is exempt from tax. By donating the asset in kind, a gift, to the CRT, you preserve the full market value of the asset rather than reduce it by large capital gains, allowing more money for income and charitable beneficiary. Tax deductions. With a CRT, you have the potential to take a partial income charitable deduction when you fund the trust, which is based on a calculation. Tax exempt. Remember, you can grow, things can grow inside the trust. Just because it goes in the trust doesn't mean it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow in terms of wealth or grow in terms of income producing. It can grow, but it grows inside the trust. CRT investment income is exempt from tax, right? CRT's investment income is exempt from tax. This makes the CRT a good option for asset diversification. You may consider donating low basis assets to the trust so that when sold, no income tax is generated to you and you eliminate capital gains on the sale of the asset. However, the named income beneficiary will pay income tax on the income stream received. Right? What assets may be donated? Cash, publicly traded securities, some types of closed held stocks, no S corps, real estate, certain complex assets. Is this right for you? I suggest you set an appointment, talk to somebody over at Fidelity. Fidelity is the one I've seen with CRTs, right? There are I'm sure there are other ones out there. They're not the only ones. I am talking about CRTs, right? So we talked about the trust. You all getting it out of the mud instead of the trust. IPOs. All right. The world's biggest single investor in the stock market returned $143 billion in the first half of the year thanks to AI and tech. Do y'all know who that is? 143 billion. Y'all know him? Nikolai Tangen, CEO of Norges Bank Investment Management, which manages Norway's sovereign wealth fund. Right? I gotta log in for this one. But anyway, I'll read the top part and then y'all can go research him. Yes, life insurance can be put into that. Yep. Norway's $1.4 trillion sovereign wealth fund saw a huge boost from AI tech-driven surge in the first 6 months of the year, putting the investment titan back on track after one of the worst years ever. I don't think I have Fortune. Anyway, that fund returned 143 billion. Right? All right, let's get into my other part. I got jobs for y'all today too. The U.S. is injecting $120 million into supercomputing to enable fusion future. Fusion to stand on the shoulders of supercomputing. I keep telling y'all like the different aspects of tech, but this is one. Back out a little bit. They say that a good thing comes in 3 areas. The U.S. is definitely banking on LLNL, which is Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, to deliver just when it just that when it comes to hot fusion, having achieved their second successful fusion ignition with an energy surplus with a national lab on July 30th, the U.S. now aims to spur research and facilitate successful third ignition. So this is what I'll be talking about. Some jobs pay for you to do research. They pay for you to do research. Some on a PhD scale, sure, but being paid to do research. So again, we're talking about advanced computing, high performance computing. Here we're talking about fusion energy. Like these are different things, different areas of tech that you can go into. If you're in college, you can probably transition to that, or you can go back and get your PhD for it. All right, so let's look at how Amazon is making custom chips. I don't want to, it's 15 minutes. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time. I got to actually transfer this over. And we're going to talk about some Amazon stuff. All right. Another thing I would look at in that trust is how you can transfer patents and ideas, IP, into your trust. Again, things that you can get, things that can be income producing later, things that could lead to wealth in that trust that'll be beneficial for the beneficiaries of that trust, right? Or that charity, however you set that up. But just think about it, right? I would talk to somebody about that. Let's go.
In an unmarked office building in Austin, Texas.
Let me turn it up.
There are two small rooms where a handful of employees peer into microscopes, soldering irons, or tiny tweezers in hand. They're designing two types of microchips made to power data centers, and more recently, the AI boom.
When we get this, what do? We test it. First thing that we do, we test it.
But these chips aren't coming from NVIDIA, AMD, or any of the chip companies that have been hitting headlines and market milestones since ChatGPT burst on the scene late last year. I'm here inside Amazon's Austin, Texas chip lab, where it makes its own custom microchips to compete with those from Intel, NVIDIA, and other giants. And it's actually a way for them to save money and boost performance because it's one of the biggest buyers of data center chips in the world. AWS CEO Adam Selipsky told CNBC that the chips that we saw here today are powering large language models and more for the AI boom.
The entire world would like more chips for doing generative AI. And whether that's GPUs or whether that's Amazon's own chips that we're designing, I think that we're in a better position than anybody else on Earth to supply the capacity that our customers collectively are going to want.
Amazon Web Services is the world's biggest cloud computing provider and the most profitable arm of the retail giant, with an operating income of $5.4 billion in Q2. Although that number has been down year over year for 3 quarters in a row, AWS still accounted for 70% of Amazon's overall $7.7 billion Q2 operating profit, giving it the cash it needs for the huge undertaking that is custom silicon, and a growing portfolio of developer tools that could, eventually, propel Amazon to the center of all the AI buzz.
Many of our AWS customers have terabytes or petabytes or exabytes of data already stored on AWS. And they know that that data is going to help them customize the models that they're using to power their generative AI applications.
Has been down year over.
Who's studying AI in the chat? Who's studying AI? Are y'all studying AI? Are you studying the effects of AI? Are you looking at data? Are you learning about modeling? What end of AI are you on? Are you supporting the actual infrastructure? What are you doing with AI, if anything?
Applications.
And yet others have acted faster and invested more to capture business from the generative AI boom. Think Microsoft's reported $13 billion investment in ChatGPT maker OpenAI, and Google's chatbot Bard, followed by its $300 million investment in OpenAI rival Anthropic. AWS's profit margins have historically been far higher than those at Google Cloud, but those margins have been narrowing. And although AWS's growth is still impressive, that's happening at a slower pace too.
Amazon is not used to chasing markets. Amazon is used to creating markets. And I think for the first time in a long time, they're finding themselves on the back foot, and they are working to play catch up.
CNBC sat down with top AWS executives and analysts to ask about custom chips and how it plans to make strides in generative AI to catch Google and Microsoft, and perhaps give a needed boost to AWS too.
How many of y'all want to learn how to make how y'all want to learn how to make chips?
We end up with a packaged part like this, right? And this is an actual machine learning accelerator that was designed, and you can see Annapurna Labs on it.
In 2015, Amazon bought Israeli startup Annapurna Labs to accelerate its dive into the chip business. In July, we went to AWS.
You said, what do you do with this? So you have to look back at a 50,000 foot, right? If you know Amazon is making chips and you know Amazon is in the race for AI, I would be looking at what are they going to do with that, with them making chips? Because now, if they're making chips, I'm probably going to be investing in them because somebody is probably going to be buying what they're selling. The other thing I'm looking at too is what companies what companies are going to use those chips, and also what companies, in terms of creating companies around AI that Amazon will go buy, right? Who is Amazon going to go buy to help them win the race with AI? So most definitely I'll be looking at something on Crunchbase, looking at AI companies, getting even younger kids to understand how AI works and stuff like that. Jobs being created. When they create things like this, there has to be a customer that's wanting to use it. So there's a sales position there. There is a position there for someone to help not just sell it, but also maintain it. AI and security, the whole nine. That's how I look at this. Yep, they are making chips.
Annapurna location in Austin for an exclusive look at the chip design process with lab director Rami Sinno. AWS also designs chips in Silicon Valley, Canada, and at a larger lab in Israel, then sends them off to be made.
So listen, look at it. That's what you want to know, right? So they're building in Israel. Why? You know why they're building in Israel? What is Israel known for? What is Israel known for? You should know this. Israel is known for security. They're known for security and hacking. Kind of ironic. They're choosing to build in Israel AI chips. AI chips. They're known for security.
In July, we went to AWS's Annapurna location in Austin for an exclusive look at the chip design process with lab director Rami Sinno. AWS also designs chips in Silicon Valley, Canada, and at a larger lab in Israel, then sends them off to be made by chip manufacturers like TSMC in Taiwan. AWS quietly started production of custom silicon back in 2013 with a piece of specialized hardware called Nitro, now the highest volume AWS chip, with more than 20 million in use in every AWS server. Then at AWS's big annual customer conference, reInvent, in 2018, Amazon launched its ARM-based server chip, Graviton, to rival x86 CPUs from giants like AMD and Intel.
It's probably high.
And they launched the Mac. You can launch Mac OS in Amazon now too, right? Launch your Mac OS at Amazon.
Single digit to maybe 10% of total server sales are ARM, and a good chunk of those are going to be Amazon. So on the CPU side, they've done quite well.
We're into our third generation of our Graviton chip. That provides acceleration in terms of speed and cost efficiency and power.
And this is the other thing too, when you're looking at stuff like this right here, is how do you get into this area of tech engineering, where you're actually at the forefront of helping create these chips, because what that lends to is patents. And a lot of people still get paid residual off these patents, off of these chips. So that's another thing. When you're at these companies, you got to remember being creative and having your intellectual property and getting paid on patents as well too. Just another one. Just another one. Just another way to think about your skill sets. How to get residually paid on your skill set. Like you gain a skill set. Now, how can I make this skill set pay me residually over time? Like it's just a gift that keep on giving. I learn it and it just keep on giving. That's what I've done with Linux. I learned it and it just keeps giving. I add a little to it, it's still the baseline. It just keeps giving. You could take yourself from making 40,000 to making 400,000 to making 500,000. If people tell you you can't do that, I'm telling you you can. I've done it. So I don't know what everybody else is talking about, right? And I know other people that have done it and still doing it, right? So I know people that have been making $300,000 or $400,000 for over 10 years, with just some Linux skills. Adding is like, stop listening to these crabs out here. I don't even call them crabs in the barrel. They just crabs. Because they ain't even in the barrel. They like, wow. They just out here in the wild. Stop listening to them. They don't know what they're talking about. Because they ain't never did the shit before. They don't have no faith in doing it them damn selves. And they don't have what? Discipline to do it themselves. They don't have the discipline to do it. If you got the discipline, you got the network, and you got the people, go do it. Go live your life. Go live in abundance and don't live in the crabs. Like, yo, let them crabs go, right? Let them crabs go. It's my thought process. All right. What's my next one up? All right, here we go. I run a $38 billion software company. In 10 years, CEOs who don't understand data and AI won't be eligible for top jobs in any industry. And what I'm going to tell you is, if you don't understand infrastructure, data, security, AI, edge computing, quantum, you could pick a struggle. You're going to be a non-factor. No one's going to look at you. They'll look at you for sales. But on the technical side, they're not. They're not. I'm telling you. Right? Let's read what he says. This is the CEO of Databricks. A cloud-based data and AI company says AI is eating software. As generative AI becomes more ubiquitous, Godosi says companies that prioritize data will have an advantage. He said it will be so disruptive in 5 to 10 years, most CEOs will need some background in AI. This story is part of What's Next, a series where we ask CEOs of prominent companies across industries about how rapidly trends influence their approach to leadership. And you know what? You all get these jobs, and you know what you never do? I know you don't do it. Do you ever try to schedule a time to sit down and talk to the CEO? Do you ever look at the CEO and look what is on his schedule and actually schedule a time to talk to the CEO? Schedule a time and talk to the CEO. Ask questions. Seriously. People will be like, oh, you're trying to get people fired. No, I'm not. I'm telling you. Sit down, look up the CEO schedule, and get on the CEO schedule and say, I have some questions. What I've been reviewing X, Y, and Z. What does leadership plan to do about AI? What direction are we going in? And how can I be of assistance? How can I move us further ahead? Here's where I'm at. Right? I don't want to read this essay, but I read a little bit of it though. He says, "Why is software eating the world in 2011? I think it's obvious now that software has eaten the world." What he meant by that is that you'll find software everywhere. Electric cars today are just fancy computers. Your Nest thermostat is a piece of software. Your watch is a piece of software, always run by some type of scaled down kernel, some type of Linux kernel, right? Your phone is a piece of software. Everything we do has become digitized, running on software. And what does software run on? What does software run on? Computers, hardware. Every company is now a software company. In every industry, software is going to become extremely important. Industries that you traditionally might not have thought were software industries, healthcare, retail, finance, are all software. Anderson was presence in 2011. And he articulated well that software companies are soon going to run everything. In 2013, we at Databricks started saying that AI would eat all software. Our point is that all software that was built to revolutionize the planet is unintelligent because it doesn't use AI, and it's going to be eaten by AI that are much smarter. The reason why AI works is the data. If we can process data and feed it to AI, we can make all the software on the planet intelligent. That's why we've always called Databricks a software and AI company. Generative AI is going to disrupt any software company that exists today. These models are going to change how humans interact with machines and how machines interact with humans. Every company needs to figure out how to introduce generative AI into software so that it can become intelligent as it interacts with human beings. Our job at Databricks is to be the platform for that introduction. So these companies can easily build their AI protocols out and process all their company data. Go look up and see how much the average job at Databricks is. You can go look that up. 2018, Peter says, healthcare conference, a CTO saying in a few years everything will be moving into the cloud. I should have invested in cloud data centers. You can still invest in data centers now. The Juice Connoisseur says, with Niger being one of the bigger producers of uranium, how do you think the unrest will affect production of computer hardware? Well, I think one of the things that we're going to find out, and we're going to find out real quick, is what are places like Dell and HP, and we see that, let me pull this up too. Hold on. Open source hardware. I don't even know if y'all are familiar with the Open Source Hardware Association. But let me see. Let me see if I can find the hardware that you can actually go out and actually purchase. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because if we're starting to manufacture chips here in the U.S. and we're starting to manufacture AI chips, not just in the sense of what Amazon is doing, because Columbus, Ohio has a pretty good hold on what's about to happen, but so are 10 other cities that are going to be tech cities. We're going to have not just Niger. They're going to have to find other ways, and they will. If you don't know, I would suggest you go to look at places like Georgia Tech Research Department, MIT Research Department. Those research departments get plenty of funding from the government. And I got some stuff I'm going to show y'all today when talking about this, right? Why would a CEO fire an employee with questions like that? They wouldn't. But that's what people like to put out, like, oh, don't talk to the CEO. Yep. AI is always growing. I'm learning swarm art algorithms and learning how Facebook utilizes graphical neural network. Yep. Let me get back to it. Right, here we go. Databricks focus on AI is unique. Only a few companies leveraged AI effectively a long time ago, but it was a handful of companies and in specific use cases such as Facebook and ad sales. But we believe in the industry, in every industry. The winners are going to be data and AI companies. Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. What do you think IBM is going to play into this? Do you think IBM is going to die? Because people keep predicting that IBM is going to die, and IBM ain't dead yet. And in fact, I think IBM holds the most patents. They got quantum, they got AI. Don't sleep on IBM. They have 500 acres in Colorado. Don't sleep. Uber disrupted the cab industry with data and AI. Tells you the estimated time of route and estimated price trip in advance using AI. People may take this for granted, but 15 years ago, you probably couldn't know the price or the exact time of the arrival of the ride before it got to you. I'll go so far to say in 5 or 10 years, to be the CEO of any of these industries, you'll need to have a data and AI background. If you're completely illiterate when it comes to data and AI, you probably won't have the credentials for the job. I think that's true. I think as more of these companies come online, there's no way a CEO cannot be technical, not to compete. He's got to hire somebody to be technical to keep up. And that costs a lot of money. All right, let's go. Machine learning engineers salary and equity in 2023. I thought this would be good. I got some jobs for y'all today too. All right, so how much do machine learning engineers expect to make as US based startups? The average expected salary for machine learning in a startup is 128 a year, where it ranges from 75 to 225. The salary range for machine learning engineers varies depending on factors, locations, and so forth. And this is with 3 years of experience, right? This is what they're predict. This is what they got. This is what they're saying right now for this one. It goes up. It's higher in other companies, but this is what they're averaging right here. Top market on average is 192, and then we've seen way higher salaries. I'm gonna show you some today too, right? But this is what they're averaging. This is what they're saying. San Francisco 160, Los Angeles 225. Let me blow that up because it looks gray. It's a little blurry on the screen over there. All right, so here we go. The highest average salary a machine learning engineer can get in mobile, that is 280,000. This pay is 31% higher than the average machine learning engineer industries. And let me bring this down so you can see. But here's the mobile, but it can go from 0 to 400K. And note some of this too. This right here is what they're saying as beginner salaries. So you can average here, looks around about 180 to, I don't know, probably like 210. This looks like to be about 95 to about 210 or somewhere in there. That may be 240, I'm not sure. But here we got mobile, data viz, analytics, B2B SaaS mobile, cloud infrastructure, cloud computing, cloud electronics, information technology, telecommunications. The tech stack that you see, the top tech stacks are number 1, TypeScript, Flask, Docker, right? C++, NumPy, that would be Python. C, 7 is SQL, OpenCV, meaning computer vision, and AWS, and then Keras, some type of cloud, right? That's what they're trying to show you. Here's the top skills, right? And they even break down, even with the top skills, what each one of those top skills can get as well. But imagine if you had all of these skills, what you're getting. Yeah, I'm investing in ASML. Go to levels FYI. Esoteric. Go to levels FYI. All right, so here they got below average, average, and top of the market here. Right? So here we go. Entry level with less than 3 years at the top of the market could be 400K. Less than 3 years. 4 to 6, you could be around 2. 7 to 10, you could be around about 280, 270. Expert at 10 years, you are at, they got you right here, right at 300K. But they're saying entry level, you at the top of the market, you could be at about 400. I think with expert, depending on what they know, they will have to do some reskilling or add something to their toolbox to be at the top. All right. There's a St. Pete startup that uses AI to detect lies. Using AI to detect lies. Keep a watch on this one, because now if we're using AI to detect lies, what are we going? How will police use this? How will lawyers use this? How will people who date, like the dating sites, use this? How to detect lies. Yep, this is exactly what I was thinking. Combine that with dating. Combine that with dating. If I were them, I would link up with a dating app and come up with a dating online dating application or some type of form for people to fill out, right? And go from there. I could even see dating coaches doing this. I could see the IRS using this as well too, right? Even with you on the phone, the sound that you make. Remember, like, don't act like your voice is not recorded, right? And before you even take a test, before you take a polygraph, right? They ask you to read something, and then they also ask you to lie about something, so they know where does the lie scale move for you, where does the intonation in your voice happen, and inflection changes in your voice happen. So why would I not use AI to help me with that as well too, right? From even your facial, the way your face moves, so forth and so on, different points. I wrap that all up in the AI. And if I was Instagram, I would use this too. So when somebody comes on and they're talking about something that happened to them, you can be like, they can put right under the caption, we detected lies in this conversation, and so forth and so on. I could totally see that. Totally see that. I totally see media using this as well too, right? So keep an eye on that, right? Next up, let's get into some government contracts. Those that are AA, there was some announcements. I'm just making it. I'm not going to go through the changes, but there were some sweeping changes and some court rulings on the AA program. You all may want to, who all are AA or looking to become AA, you may want to go check those changes out. Eric Coffey did a show on it, so I'm just giving you some, do your own due diligence, get your own insight on that, right? All right, DARPA. Who know about DARPA? Y'all know about DARPA? You probably don't. Robots and technologies for the future management of advanced U.S. research. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? I don't know. I don't think they're ready for this one, D. You might be. You might be. You might be. Let's go.
The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA for short, was created in 1958, almost immediately after the launch of Sputnik 1 by the USSR. The realization that the Soviets were about to launch not only satellites, but also rockets into space, greatly spurred on the United States government. The result was the creation of a unique agency with a huge budget to spend as it saw fit. Watch a selection of DARPA's most unexpected, bizarre, and advanced technologies and artificial intelligence projects in one video. Hey, my name's Connor, and you're on the Pro Robots channel. Subscribe, hit like, and share with your friends. And Elon, if you're watching this, you still owe me $20 for pizza, man. DARPA's mission is to create innovative defense technologies. The agency's projects have ranged from space-based missile shields to cyborg insects. In doing so, the internet, the first computer mouse,
Have y'all know about the cyborg insects?
Yes, robot vacuum cleaners and even Siri have been created. DARPA is unique in that by investing in a project, it doesn't seek to grab an equity stake, but only to stimulate the development of technology and see where it leads. The agency's first significant success was ARPANET, which laid the foundation for the modern internet. In 1969, with the
Did you know that?
help of this computer network, the first message between computers of the University of California and Stanford University was transmitted. But then, out of the 5 letters of the message, they were able to transmit only 2. But on January 1st, 1983, the network became the first in the world to switch to routing data packets. As a routed protocol was initially used, IP protocol was developed by order of DARPA, which today is the main means for data transmission on the internet.
You wonder how you got the internet? This is how you got it. We weren't on the internet in 82. We weren't on the internet in the 80s. We wasn't on there. I'm in a bind, Nate. You got to call Nate. You got to go down the street. You got to go find Nate. We weren't on the internet. Y'all, we weren't on there. Some of y'all are young enough to have grown up with cell phones, internet, the whole 9, cable, everything. Those were luxury items. Your family was rich.
In 1964, Charles Rosen, head of the Artificial Intelligence Center at the Stanford Research Institute, proposed the creation of an intelligent automaton for the Office of Advanced Research. The grant was approved, and it was assumed that the developed robot could work as a sort of scout or postman. This is how shaky the robot came to be. According to the description, it could perceive its surroundings, deduce implicit facts from explicit ones, create plans, recover from errors in executing plans, and understand orders written in plain English text. The robot was equipped with video cameras, collision sensors, and a rangefinder. Communication with the control computer was via radio. Shaky software architecture, computer vision, and navigation and planning techniques proved fundamental to robotics and web server development, video game development, and Mars rovers. Autonomous robots, like unmanned vehicles, were one of DARPA's first and primary goals. To stimulate their development, the agency launched the Strategic Computing Initiative in the 1980s and allocated $1 billion to it. The goal is to develop artificial intelligence technologies in a variety of fields. Among the results are the first autonomous cars and Boston Dynamics' first 4-legged walking dog.
Put a 1 in the chat if you find all this interesting. I'm just giving you the origins of where a lot of things come from, and they have been around for decades. And it's not nothing new. You just didn't know that these things existed. So that's why I keep telling you, a lot of things that have happened that we see right now have been in the making for years. They're just now being released to the public. D, how's D doing? How you doing back there, D? The Queen Lee is asking. Right? So you in this little quick video, you found out how the internet was created. We know about GPS being created, right? From Hidden Figures. Autonomous robots have been around for quite some time. We saw the inset, right? Yep. Supercomputing, research development. Go look at what the annual budget is for DARPA and research. How do you think we get these things? We get these things through research.
Modern drones date back to a series of robocar races that DARPA sponsored in the 2000s to encourage the technology's development. And in 2004, of all the contenders for a prize of $1 million, only one managed to pass a modest 12 kilometers of the planned 240. And then in 2005, the entire distance was covered by 5 cars at once. In 2007, DARPA held another race, now with the prize of $2 million. Robo-autos had to drive around the city following the rules and interacting with one another at intersections. It was DARPA that sponsored the development of Boston Dynamics' first 4-legged robot, Big Dog, introduced in 2005. The robot measured 91 by 76 centimeters and weighed 110 kilograms and was capable of moving at 6.5 kilometers per hour and carrying a load of 150 kilograms, even as well as climbing a mountain, with an incline of up to 35 degrees. The project cost DARPA $42 million, but was shut down as the robot proved to be incredibly noisy. Nevertheless, Big Dog became the basis for the creation of both the Spot and Atlas robots. There were and there are among the agency's projects very unusual and even peculiar ideas. For example, the Energy Autonomous Tactical Robot, or EATR program, was aimed at creating robots that could eat plants to replenish their own energy reserves right where they were.
A robot that could eat plants to replenish its own energy reserve. Okay, put that in perspective. A robot that could eat plants and replenish its own energy. Put that in perspective. So the robot don't need the sun. We don't need that. You just give it some flowers.
Or take the Engineering Living Materials, ELM program, which was aimed to create self-healing building materials. With the development of 3D printing of organs and tissues, DARPA hopes to use similar technologies to create hybrid materials that can form and support the growth of artificially created cells. Such materials could be grown locally using available resources. The hybrid insect microelectromechanical systems spybug project in 2006 also looked crazy. In 2009, engineers had even unveiled a prototype transmitter for cyborg insects. But judging by the fact that in 2018, the agency announced the start of the development of miniaturized robots, controlling insects in the right volume never came to fruition. The new SHRIMP, or Short-Range Independent Microbiotic Platforms program, and the robots being developed under it will belong to the smallest type of such mechanisms, just the size of insects. At the same time, the robots will be fast, maneuverable, able to jump, fly, lift objects, and analyze the terrain.
So next time you're outside, I bet you're going to be looking at bugs. I already know about it. I bet you're going to be looking at bugs. Like, is that really a bee? Is that really a fly? Is that really a bee? Is that really a fly?
And these won't be DARPA's only bio-inspired robots. The agency recently announced that next year it will unveil a fully finished robotic worm that will be able to tunnel at 10 centimeters per second. It's already allocated $2.5 million for the Project Underminer.
A robotic worm. Yeah, listen, y'all ain't gonna get this kind of content nowhere else. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all listen, we've talked about life insurance, we talked about charitable remainder trust, we talked about AI, we talked about a lot of things. You just ain't gonna find nobody else talking about this kind of stuff. I'm just trying to inform you where these things come from, where they're going, and things you can do to be in it. I don't know if you're gonna kill these.
Tunnels will be needed to quickly create tactical pathways when fighting in cities and megacities. One of DARPA's most important projects is the systems-based neurotechnology for emerging therapies, a program designed to create an implantable, diagnostic, and therapeutic closed-loop system for the treatment of neuropsychiatric diseases. Essentially, the program wants to create a brain implant to help soldiers combat PTSD and other problems. Interestingly,
a brain implant to help combat PTSD. I'll continue.
When work on neural interfaces began, DARPA said that it would create a chip that the military would use to control combat robots and drones with the power of thought. Either way, work on the brain chip continues. Another of the key areas of DARPA's project is the creation of robot pilots and artificial intelligence capable of controlling airplanes and helicopters, including combat aircraft. Thus, at the end of this year, the final test of Alias technology on Sikorsky UH-60M Black Hawk helicopters should take place. The test program includes remote and autonomous missions. The Alias system consists of a robotic pilot, voice interface, and software. Only LiDAR and cameras are required to install Alias on any Black Hawk in the U.S. Army fleet. The trainable artificial intelligence system that will be able to take control of combat aircraft in the future and conduct maneuverable close air combat being developed by DARPA is called Air Combat Evolution. It was for its development that the recent Alpha Dogfights trials test of neural networks algorithms in virtual air combat were conducted.
Now, here's the other question. Out of all of this, right, what has not been said is the security of the data that are on these robots and so forth. The security of the actual physical machines themselves, right? Self-destruct, where they relaying messages to securely, right? It says, imagine the possibilities of data collection, having robotic worms unable to easily destroy or an opponent's side. Yep. Right?
Recall that during trials, artificial intelligence managed to defeat professional pilots of the U.S. Air Force with a resounding score of 5-0. The new neural network system will have to control the fighter and fight faster and more efficiently than a human. It will be tested on a real airplane in 2024. The preparation of the fighter for this event has already begun. Unmanned technology interests DARPA not only in the air, but also in the water.
Now, I talked about this before, unmanned submarines, unmanned stuff, right? I talked about this before.
Just the other day, the agency announced that it is ready to sign contracts for long-range unmanned ships with 3 private companies as part of the Sea Train program. The project involves long-range deployment of a...
So he said 3 private companies. The question you have to ask, and this is what I get into all the time, who are the 3 private companies that are working on these things? You know, they probably only got like 20 or 30 engineers or something like that. And each one of them engineers is probably getting paid $300,000-$400,000. Little small company. Nobody know about them. They work somewhere. They go to work. They come home. You don't even know.
Distributed fleet of unmanned tactical surface ships. The goal is to break the range limit for maritime drones by reducing wave drag. DARPA sees one solution to this problem in sea trains, which will be formed from ships right in the sea. Having overcome the necessary distance, marine drones will disconnect to fulfill their task, and then on the way back, they'll make a train again. Also, it's at the expense of drone technology development that the U.S. intends to bring the number of its fleet to 355 ships. This was recently stated by U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, and he also reported on the demonstration of a prototype of an underwater drone, Echo Voyager, from Boeing, and surface vehicle, Sea Hunter, developed by DARPA. Apparently, they will be used to replenish the Navy's ranks. Another global goal of DARPA is the creation of swarm intelligence, that is, the use of groups of robots to perform
Here you go. Now, here's a little thing to note about swarm. If you really want to know about swarm intelligence and so forth, go look at Disney, because Disney uses the whole swarm algorithm for their shows, right? They come out and do all that with drones now.
Next task. As a part of this project, researchers from the University of Buffalo recently received more than $300,000 to study the brain impulses and eye movements of gamers. The goal is to improve the organization and strategy of autonomous aerial and ground robots through a new learning method. The robots will be trained by an algorithm that must process the information collected by scientists and understand how gamers act in some unexpected situation, what they pay attention to, and what these actions lead to. Robot swarms are being researched by DARPA in two other areas. The first is the Offset Project, the development of software that will allow various ground robots and unmanned aerial vehicles to work together.
Are y'all scared yet? Are y'all scared yet?
Robots grouped together must be able to cooperatively accomplish one or more tasks, using one or more than 100 tactical options. The second area is the Squad X project. It involves the introduction of drones, robots, and sensors on the battlefield to maximize soldiers' situational awareness and other tasks. DARPA has already tested the program through a week-long exercise in which U.S. Marines use drones and robots to coordinate their movements and detect potential threats in the field. Information from the sensors was processed by an artificial intelligence system and only then relayed to the military. This is exactly how the combat scenarios of the future will look like. We cannot fail to mention that thanks to DARPA, the whole world was able to enjoy the spectacle of humanoid robots racing at the DARPA Robotics Challenge. The footage of epic fails of robots of various designs quickly became a hit on YouTube. And while it's indeed very funny, we can't forget that thanks to such events, robotics is evolving, and today we can watch agile robots like Atlas. Subscribe to the channel, like.
Just trying to get y'all out here to think outside the box. All right, think outside the box. All right, let's go. All right, do I want to talk about Gen Z's attitude compared to other generations? Not really. I threw that in there. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. Orders are flooding into Pentagon's $9 billion cloud contract. You want to know where the money is at? Augusta, Georgia. Damn. Tim, how many times have you said this thing, right? More than dozens of orders worth hundreds of millions of dollars have been awarded using the Pentagon's landmark cloud computing contract since its launch less than a year ago. The U.S. Air Force Director of Defense Information Systems, 13 cloud task orders over $200 million worth of value over the life cycle have already been dished out for joint warfighting cloud capability. An additional 13 are in the works. Right? Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle are to furnish cloud services for potential $9 billion JWCC. I reported on this a couple of months ago when it came out. It's itself a successor to the Joint Enterprise Defense Contract, the JEDI, which was valued at $10 billion. And I think Microsoft won that one. But this one has all the clouds. That's why I told you, learn Linux, learn Ansible, pick a cloud, any cloud, learn security, and learn Kubernetes. Go where you want to go. Be an expert in one of them. Be a generalist if you want to, but those are the skills that are going to get you in here for the next 10 to 20 years. AI infrastructure uses all of those things. There's no way around it. Right? The 4 companies are competing for jobs spanning unclassified, secret, top secret designations and are guaranteed only $100,000 each. Skinner did not say which companies won which orders. This serves as Pentagon's de facto information technology authority and is intimately involved in the cloud deal. The Pentagon Information Officer John Sherman, in a memo made public earlier this month, instructed defense agencies, military services, and other offices to prioritize JWCC, including when dealing with the nation's most sensitive data and so forth. We're working hand in hand, blah, 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 woo, 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 woo. And the meaning, and it says the indefinite delivery, IDQ, comprises of 3-year base and 1-year options, meaning the work could be conducted through 2028. So I just gave you the companies that are in this: Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Oracle. Pick a cloud, any cloud. They're gonna be, that work is gonna be through 2028. So they get, and most of that stuff is gonna probably take anywhere from 5 to 10 years to get done. So you want to work for the next 10 years? There you go. And get paid. I ain't talking about work and just get minimum. I'm talking about work and get paid. All right. This came out. The U.S. Space Force creates its first unit dedicated to targeting adversary satellites 3 days ago. We're changing the way targeting is done across joint community when it comes to space and electromagnetic warfare, right? Again, dealing with satellites. I keep telling you about satellites. I don't know how many times. Everything that goes along with that, everything that goes along with building them, everything that goes along with maintaining them, securing them, the whole nine. Go down that route. No, nothing there. All right. Y'all want to hear about the jobs? Okay. I think you do. Let's go. This is a principal distributed systems engineer AI job. The range is from 268 to 414, working with NVIDIA. What you will be doing: architect and build scalable distributed services with help power the AI infrastructure for deep learning. Design and build infrastructures and microservices. They help index, mine, transform, and compose petabyte-sized deep learning data sets. Design the next generation of data set management services. Enable smart data selection. Be a technical leader. Collaborate with multiple AI product teams. Collaborate with AI researchers and leaders. Masters or equivalent experience in computer architecture, computer science, electrical engineering, or related field. 14 years of work or 14 years of research, a programming background, solid technical background, advanced programming skills. They prefer you to understand Go and C++. And that goes from 268 to 414. A tech lead for DevOps infrastructure at TikTok goes from 208,000 to 408,000 a year. They got 401k matching. They got flexible spending account. They have health insurance, paid sick time, paid time off, RSUs, vision insurance. Design and develop and maintain infrastructure using infrastructure as code, such as Terraform, Ansible, CloudFormation, etc. Develop and implement DevOps practices to improve overall software development. Work closely with cross-functional teams to ensure the applications. Develop automated build and deployment process. Collaborate with development teams to ensure that the infrastructure meets the requirements. Establish and maintain best practices. Cloud security, compliance, and cost optimization. Participate in code and design reviews. Understand CI/CD. Experience with AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, security concepts, collaboration. Terrible, Ansible, CloudFormation, DevOps, I keep saying DevOps is gonna be here forever. But hey, You see it now. TikTok is paying between 208 to 408,000. All right. A senior DevOps engineer, AWS specialist, pay range from 100,000 to 500,000. Let's hop down here. They're AWS shop. They want you to understand CI/CD, drive automation with Terraform, develop and fine-tune monitoring, utilize Kubernetes, refine infrastructure, so forth and so on. Who you are and required skills. Infrastructure is code with Terraform. Understand Jenkins, GitLab, AWS code pipelines, or CI/CD. Troubleshooting, problem skills, so forth, security practices, AWS SysOps or AWS DevOps if you have it. To be considered for this, please submit your resume, so forth. They cover your medical and vision insurance. Vision insurance is covered 100%. Complimentary gym access, stock options, and so forth. This is with Spotter in Clover City. This one is a project manager, up to 500,000. This is in Fishers, Indiana. It is hybrid remote, but it is a project manager nonetheless. I'm not going to rattle off all these things because it's pretty lengthy here, but you can go look this up. Project Manager 1 at GAI Consultants, up to 500,000, right? Next one, a technical account manager. It's not $40,000 to $45,000 a year. It is $40,000 to $45,000 a month. You do the math. You tell me, what is that? 40,000 times 12. Somebody put it in the chat. You should know that off the bat there. Come on, 40,000 times 12. And then do 45 times 12. You know, on the low end, what? It's 480. What's on the higher end? What's the 445? What's the 45 times 12? $45 times 12. 540. So we're going from a range of 480 to 540. Y'all still want to talk about $100,000? Let me know. I don't, but I mean, you come watch me. You tell me if you want to talk about it, because I'm showing you jobs, you know, that where they're at, right? All right, so they want you to be in the area. I think you could live in the area for $40,000 a month or $45,000 a month and find you something to do on the weekends. I think you're gonna be okay. Determined and eager to understand what, why, how we do. Please do not apply if you're not serious about learning. Experience in selling, supporting products are very technical in nature. An aptitude for mechanical and electronic devices. Someone who doesn't mind calling on clients in all different types of industries. Someone who is humble and honest with interactions and communication. Who wants to learn the trade. They want you to learn. This sounds like somebody who wants to learn. Right? Why Set Corporation, the challenge you every day, family oriented. We are not corporate America. You're not in a box. Open-minded. You have the freedom to pursue what you want in the business. A job for which military experience candidates are encouraged to apply. A job which all ages, including older job seekers, are encouraged to apply. Open to applicants who do not have a college diploma. 401k with match, so forth and so on. I think you all on this stream should apply for this job. 480 to 580. You mad at me? You mad at me? You mad at me? Don't be mad at me. Go apply. Go apply for the job. Who? Y'all don't want 40,000 a month? Y'all want 45? Okay. You don't need that much money to live. money to live. You don't need that. You need that kind of money. Right? I don't want to talk about Chicago. I'm over. All right. Linux Foundation has biocertification and get a companion course for free. You can use the code score big or score big 2. I'll drop this link where you can go, and I put it in Slack because this link kind of long. I'll put it in Slack because this link kind of long. I'll put it in let me see. I'll put it in training. Y'all can grab it out of Slack in training. It's kind of long, a long link. Yeah. There you go. It's a long link. Right? All right. So I signed up for this right here, Cloud Security Exchange. It's 5 hours long. I have not watched this yet. I'm going to watch it today and pull some stuff out of this so we can have a discussion on how we Linux about this. This is let me blow this up right here. This is from sans.org, but let me blow it up. All right. SANS is the most trusted and by far the largest source of information, security training, security certification in the world. It also develops, maintains, and makes available at no cost the largest collection of research documents about various aspects of information security, and it operates the internet's early warning system, the Internet Storm Center, right? And so they go in to talk about the security exchange for this. It was 5 hours long. You can see the people who are on here to talk. That's Frank Kim. We keep missing each other and so forth. The link for Slack, gotta send an invite. Let me see if I could get an invite. I'm looking to see. Copy invite link. It's gonna expire in 22 days. This link is. There you go. All right. And let me see. Oh, that's the non-bond. That's the charitable remainder trust. Okay, I got through all my stuff today. I got through all my stuff. I mean, I could go on, but I've had you here 2 hours and 27 minutes. The other thing to be on the lookout for is the boot camp. We're finalizing finally all of the paperwork, all the stuff. So we're coming out with that. We actually got some funding for folks. We will be making that announcement soon, like in the next 2 weeks. That's my goal. And last but not least, before we get up out of here, make sure you all are paying attention to what's going on around anything around security, AI, and data, and infrastructure. There is a lot of money flowing right now, and a lot of jobs are flowing right now. And you should be aware of where the money is flowing and what things look like, right? I'm on Indeed right now. And when I look up anything, just again, DevSecOps, I'm looking up AI, You pull back anything AI. AI has 26,000 jobs right now on Indeed, right? Let me look up AI embedded Linux, because that's been a big thing. I've seen people been asking about that. Very small niche, but yet nevertheless the people are asking about that. Yeah, most people, the residency, the masters, that gets into your research stuff. The other things, I think I'm gonna do a show on the difference between a Linux engineer, a Linux system engineer, a Linux admin, and a Linux sysadmin, and then like I've seen job titles with Linux DevOps engineer, like those type of things. I want to do a show on those skill sets, but it's a show that's going to highlight the core things in each one of those skill sets. Um, see levels, FYI, you guys need to be hanging out over there. Also, the other thing too, I think someone was talking about being overemployed. Like I said, I won't talk about it online. I will talk about it in a private meeting, but not online. All right. And then we got a couple of surprises coming up, some announcements coming up for you all. Stay tuned for that. Other than that, that's all I got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, just because it looked like a B, it may not be a B. All right. Y'all be safe and appreciate you. I'm out. I don't know if D is still around. Let me see. Cause she's got to help me end the show. Oh, y'all are welcome. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button as well too. I'm checking to see what D is at. Because I'm still here. I don't know where she at. I'm gonna end the show though. We won't get the nice little stuff, but it is what it is. Okay, D is here. All right, I'm about. See y'all later.